Bro, when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. You don't know me as a person. Let's say you don't like me.
The casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Yeah. And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck with Jake Paul, they're gonna think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter.
Jake too big for Tank, you know? In reality, he's way too big for...
Gervonta "Tank" Davis erupted after hearing Floyd Mayweather predict an early knockout victory for Jake Paul. The tension between Davis and his former mentor has been building for years, but Mayweather's latest comment appears to have pushed things over the edge. According to insiders, Davis felt deeply disrespected by Floyd's public praise of Paul, a YouTuber turned boxer who's been fighting to gain credibility in the sport. What began as a casual prediction quickly escalated into a full-blown feud, with Davis lashing out online and accusing Mayweather of selling out boxing for attention and clout.
Bro, when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. You don't know me as a person. Let's say you don't like me. Like, you don't know me. Like, you feel me? And I don't give a fuck him. If everybody had a clue, I mean, win.
Same question for you. Proud father.
From the moment the fight was announced, talk of the glaring physical mismatch has dominated the conversation. Veteran champion Terence Crawford made his stance clear, bluntly stating that Jake Paul is simply too big for Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Crawford acknowledged Davis's talent, power, and explosiveness, but emphasized that Paul's size creates a completely different dynamic. He even warned that if Jake manages to land one clean shot on Tank, the fight could be over instantly.
To get your take on the Jake Paul versus Tank Davis, they just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't have no reaction, you know? I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder, you know? If it's scripted, then it's going to be good for the fans to watch.
What do you mean by scripted? Like rigged?
Yeah, like scripted. Like,
but none of those guys want a fucking L, right?
I think it's not a real fight. I think it's because it can't be a real fight because they ain't in the same weight. So it'd be more like an exhibition.
I think it is an exhibition, but do you think they're like, but not one person saying like, yo, I'm going to fucking throw the match. You think?
I don't think.
Or you never know?
Yeah, I think they're going to go in there and spar. I don't think it's going to be you trying to kill me or I'm trying to kill you. You know, I think it's, let's go in here and make this money.
Former MMA champion Daniel Cormier echoed that sentiment from a combat sports standpoint, questioning the fairness of matching Gervonta "Tank" Davis against Jake Paul due to the stark weight difference. Speaking on his channel, Cormier pointed out that the problem is that Jake is much bigger, adding that it's difficult to view the fight as a fair contest. He argued that boxing's traditional system, where fighters compete within their weight classes to maintain balanced physical matchups, has been ignored in this case. As a result, Cormier warned, the more skilled boxer could still end up losing simply because the physical gap is too great.
Boxing gets ridiculous. Gervonta Davis is fighting Jake Paul. Yesterday they had their first press conference. One of the most recognizable things is Jake Paul is huge compared to Gervonta Davis. And two, Gervonta Davis don't even know what weight they fighting, D.
Maximum weight of 195 pounds for this exhibition. 190. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds.
I said it was 190.
The fight is 195 pounds, Tank, as you know.
Adding to the perception of a mismatch, Cormier and others have repeatedly highlighted the massive weight disparity between the two fighters. As one report noted, Gervonta "Tank" Davis last competed at around 136 pounds, while Jake Paul has recently fought at nearly 200 pounds. Cormier acknowledged that Paul has successfully carved out his own lane in boxing, but he questioned the credibility of the sanctioning bodies for approving such an uneven bout. He argued that the size advantage isn't merely beneficial for Paul, it's borderline overwhelming, raising serious questions about fairness and safety in the matchup.
Yo, so Jake Paul is fighting Gervonta Davis. I'm serious. It's real. 199 in Paul's last fight, 133.8 for Davis in his last fight. I discussed that and so much more at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific at my YouTube channel. The link will be in my bio. But hey, I thought he was going to fight Anthony Joshua. How do you end up from Anthony Joshua to Tank Davis? I discuss.
Gervonta Tank Davis recently responded to the backlash he's been facing, suggesting it's part of a familiar pattern in the fight game. He explained that when someone stays in the spotlight too long, people inevitably start looking for someone new to take their place, a cycle he believes also played out with Floyd Mayweather. Davis noted that fans eventually grew tired of seeing Mayweather dominate, and admiration gradually turned into hate. He emphasized that the same dynamic is now unfolding in his own career as public attention has shifted from praise to criticism.
Monte, a lot of boxing fans aren't happy with the fact you've taken this fight rather than the Rhodes rematch, fights with the likes of Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo, etc. What do you make of that reaction? And can we still expect to see those fights?
Why should I care what they think? When y'all switch somebody can have a bad day and y'all switching on who y'all favorite fighter is or who this person is supposed to fight. Like y'all need to sit back and be fans and just enjoy the sport. Like y'all even talk about people's personal lives. Like why when it come to that?
Can we still expect to see any of those fights in the future though?
And y'all keep talking about fighting somebody. Didn't he just have a fight? And what happened? He won, right? But how you look in it? Exactly. But y'all say some different shit when it's me, right? Cause y'all want me to lose. When y'all see people in that limelight too long, they want to take that they want somebody else to come take that spot. That's why it's always like, come on, bro. That's what happened with Floyd. Y'all seen him too much, and once y'all seen him so much, y'all start hating on like. It turned from love to hate.
Gervonta Tank Davis has revealed in several interviews that his dream fight would be against his former mentor, Floyd Mayweather, not out of bitterness, but to show how much he's grown since leaving Mayweather Promotions. Davis explained that facing Floyd would represent a test of legacy and pride, a symbolic passing of the torch. This revelation adds a deeper layer to his upcoming clash with Jake Paul, as many view the fight as Tank's opportunity to step out of Mayweather's shadow and claim his place as boxing's next major star. Just as Mayweather once ruled the sport and faced rising public resentment, Davis now feels the same pressure of expectation and believes that defeating Jake Paul could mark the start of his own Mayweather moment.
What's your dream fight card?
Dream fight card?
Anybody.
So there's a couple fights on there. Me versus Floyd.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that.
A new deal, 7-fight deal, which is music to the ears of many boxing fans. Get to see you in action for several more years. What type of names are we talking about in those 7 names?
Whoever you name, they could be in it.
If I name some fighters, can you say yes or no?
Yep.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yep.
Ryan Garcia.
Yep.
Devin Haney.
Yep.
Isaac Cruz.
Yeah, but there's 2 people I already beat already, but yeah.
Errol Spence.
Outside the ring.
Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. Yeah. September. November.
Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah.
Out of all of those guys, who do you think is the most difficult opponent for you?
Floyd Mayweather.
Gervonta Tank Davis has boldly claimed that his skills surpass those of his former mentor, Floyd Mayweather. He believes that his unique blend of power, timing, and ring IQ makes him a more complete fighter than Mayweather was at the same age. Davis has often pointed out that while Floyd was a defensive genius, his own style combines that same defensive mastery with explosive offensive power, a balance, he argues, that Mayweather rarely displayed in his career.
Skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Like, nobody. I feel like my skills is way better than, like, Floyd. Like, if I'm on my game. Probably hand in hand. But skill-wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody.
Floyd Mayweather, one of the most celebrated and accomplished boxers in history, took Gervonta "Tank" Davis under his wing when Davis was still a teenager. Recognizing his raw potential, Mayweather set out to shape him into a future world champion. In the early years, their relationship was built on mutual respect and admiration. Mayweather frequently praised Davis's talent, while Davis expressed deep gratitude for his mentor's guidance and support.
Floyd, let me ask you something about the business of all this. I asked you why you wanted to promote Tank when you first saw him, Gervonta Davis. Why do you think he's been able to connect with a crowd? Because he draws real crowds when he fights. That's hard to do in boxing. He gets announced at Ravens games, and he gets a big ovation, right? And now he's already fighting on pay-per-view. What is it about Tank that is connected commercially with an audience?
His aura. People like him. That Main Street, he got a boyish look. I mean, he's very marketable. As far as when you look at him, he's marketable, but when the bell rings, he's a killer, and that's what people want to see. That's no different from when I was fighting at super featherweight, when I was fighting at junior lightweight. The boyish look, but when I get in there, I wreck shop.
Their relationship extended far beyond business contracts, grounded instead in genuine mentorship and mutual respect. Davis often credited Floyd Mayweather not only for teaching him elite boxing techniques, but also for instilling the confidence and discipline that molded him into a champion destined for lasting greatness.
Okay, I'm ready now. So they came pick me up. Then he took me to the dealership. He let me test drive this, and he also let me test drive a Charger. The Charger was too fast, and he was like, everybody at the gym had them.
That's true, they do.
Yeah, he was like, we want to get you something different. So.
Well, you're from Baltimore. You need a Jeep on the streets of Baltimore.
Yeah.
I've watched the news.
Yeah.
What did they say back home when everybody saw the story that Floyd Mayweather bought you a very expensive car?
Not only that he bought me an expensive car, he took me in.
Took you interest in you and your career, yeah?
Yeah, as a fighter, also as a, Floyd old enough to be my son, so I wouldn't say a big brother. So he, like a father figure and stuff like that. He took me in, and he been treating me good since I knew him. He been not only in the boxing, like working with me on boxing. He showed me like the business side and all that type stuff, and he showed me a lot, and I appreciate him and I love him forever for that.
In 2024, Gervonta "Tank" Davis cemented his status as one of boxing's most electrifying talents. His defining moment came on June 15th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, where he faced Frank Martin in a highly anticipated matchup. After a challenging early stretch, Davis turned the tide with a spectacular 8th-round knockout, unleashing his trademark left uppercut, followed by a powerful straight left that ended the fight decisively. The victory marked his 28th knockout in 30 bouts, further solidifying his reputation as a dominant force in the lightweight division.
Fantastic fighter. Okay, so first and foremost, Tank is now 30-0 with 28 knockouts. It's like a 93% knockout ratio, which is crazy. I believe it's the highest knockout percentage of any current world champion, I believe. I would imagine Inoue is close to that, but pretty impressive anyway. He's 29 years old. He's a southpaw. He's 5'5"-ish, 5'5.5" maybe, height-wise, and he has a good reach of 67.5 inches. He's got an extensive amateur background with a great record.
However, as Davis's career began to flourish, cracks in their relationship started to emerge. Tensions grew from a mix of personal and professional disagreements, with Davis feeling that Mayweather was overly controlling and limiting his autonomy in career decisions. Conversely, Mayweather felt that Davis was failing to show the respect and loyalty warranted, given the opportunities and support he had provided.
I remember first hearing an issue between Floyd and Gervonta before Gervonta fought Pedraza. And the issue I heard was that Floyd didn't want Gervonta to stay in Baltimore because he felt there was too many distractions for him in Baltimore and he wanted to stay in Vegas. And the story I was told at that time was that Floyd gave Gervonta one of his penthouses or one of his apartments in the Palms Hotel, and he said, "This is your apartment. I'll furnish it for you. He got him a Jeep. At the time, Gervonta was not a world champion. He got him like a Jeep, a 4x4. You know, he basically said, I'll make it comfortable for you. I don't want you to go to Baltimore. I want you to stay here. I don't think Baltimore is the place for you, you know? And what I was told was Gervonta sold all the furniture, sold the Jeep, and went back to Baltimore and bought a Benz. You know, with that's what I was. For real? That's what I was told at the time. So
that set you off because you was like, I gotta do that.
A lot of people don't know that what Floyd do. He said.
So you feel like it was a sub, like he was subbing you, like, oh, like
he was going at me. He was going at me, and I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went at him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cause I feel like y'all got, I would say love hate, but it's been like the last interview you showed them love. This week it was whatever. But is that sometimes like, you know, is it just like big bro, little bro seeing things different, or what is it to you?
No, Floyd don't never. He felt as though I'm at that point where as though I passed him. And I'm doing it at a young age. Wait, like when Floyd was 29, you'll see, bro.
Yeah.
That deal that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's a part of the
deal. He don't know about that yet. But that's bigger than his deal.
Damn. Wow.
And I'm just releasing
It's exclusive. That's exclusive. Bigger than Floyd deal?
Yeah.
Ain't no cap, nigga. That's a lot of bread.
You'll see. It's gonna come out.
Shane Mosley recently weighed in on the ongoing tension between Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta "Tank" Davis, drawing from his own experiences. He compared their situation to his relationship with his sons, suggesting that Mayweather's constant presence may have inadvertently limited Davis's opportunities to truly shine on his own.
How you feel about Floyd and Tank beefing online?
I see it a little bit. Yeah, you know, I like both guys, so it's like, I know Gervonta has his issues with Floyd, and you know, Floyd has a big ego where he wants to, you know, be the man on top, and Gervonta's trying to get on top, but it seems like he has to get from under Floyd because Floyd's a big man. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of hard. It's kind of, it kind of reminds me of me and my son. Like I kind of like got myself away and let him do his own thing and let him have his own glory, his own, you know, his own glory, his own life. You know what I'm saying? So me being there all the time will shadow over all this stuff. Sometimes. Not intentionally. I'm not doing it intentionally. I'm not trying to be like, I don't care about him. I want him to be the best. But me being too close to him all the time takes away a little bit of his shadow, a little bit of his shine. So I need to be, I'm still gonna tell him everything he needs to know. I'll get in the ring with him, spar with him, do all kinds of stuff. But he has his own coach, he has his own manager, he has his own team, he has his own family, he has his own, you know, his own stuff.
The situation between Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta "Tank" Davis escalated publicly through social media and interviews, with both men airing their frustrations. Davis accused Mayweather of trying to overshadow him, suggesting that Floyd's involvement was more about boosting his own legacy than genuinely supporting Davis. Mayweather, known for his outspoken nature, fired back by criticizing Davis's attitude and work ethic, insisting that he needed to show more gratitude and respect. Adding fuel to the fire, fellow boxer Ryan Garcia recently claimed that the real source of tension might be personal. Davis allegedly had a relationship with Mayweather's daughter, Yaya, which severely strained their bond. If true, this revelation adds a deeply personal layer to their conflict, intensifying the animosity and making any potential matchup between them even more emotionally charged.
Gervonta. I mean,
that's dirty.
I already knew about all that though. Once Gervonta Floyd Mayweather's daughter, and that's not even a secret. That's not even like, that's not something I'm exposing.
Oh wow, that's
after somebody did that to my daughter.
Right, I thought you and Shakur had the deal that you were gonna fight after the Haiti fight, and he said you were gonna lose.
Y'all not even gonna like try to respond to that, but you guys are some pussies.
Nah, that's crazy. That's a fight right there. It's facts. Back to you.
That's a fight, bro. That's a fight. For sure.
Ryan, are you coming to the fight in July in Dallas with Mike Tyson?
Yeah, he's coming.
Of course.
Okay. You're out here.
Gervonta Davis is gay.
Allegedly.
Yo.
His dad says it all.
No, but that's okay if all right, say Gervonta, right? Because I've heard stories of Gervonta. Some girl told me that she put her fingers in it. That's fine. Hey, wait.
What are you talking about? Allegedly.
Allegedly. At the end of the day, bro. Do I have messages to prove it? Yes. But will I do
I
it?
will say Gervonta is a very pretty name for a man. I'll say that. Back to you.
No, his new name is Abdul Wahid.
Ryan Garcia didn't hold back when discussing the upcoming matchup between Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul, calling it a disgrace to boxing. He highlighted the enormous size and weight disparity between the fighters, arguing that the bout looks more like a spectacle than a legitimate sporting contest. Garcia criticized the narrative portraying Paul as facing a bona fide champion, pointing out that Davis would be competing well outside his natural weight class. He bluntly asserted that fights like this prioritize entertainment and revenue over the integrity and competitiveness that boxing should uphold.
Bro, that's a fucking disgrace of a fight.
Yeah.
You know, just like the Mike Tyson, low-key was a disgrace, but we accepted it, but
yeah,
he was 60 years old. I mean, the casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
And if Gervonta Davis doesn't Jake Paul, they're gonna think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis, he's actually really small. Like, when I fought him, he's small.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a very unfair fight.
Do you agree